Today, let's talk about validation rules,
Okay.
okay, and workflow rules, record type, functions, okay, and also we are going to cover process builder also. Hmm?
Okay.
Um, so we will write process builder also we'll cover, and also we'll try to cover service cloud or sales cloud.
Okay.
So let's go to uh, Salesforce.com. So see validation rules. So if why do we need the validation rules? Okay, can you give me any example like why we need validation rules?
I don't have idea, uncle.
You don't have any. Okay, no problem. So um, suppose we don't want to input incorrect data, right? We don't want users to input incorrect data. So that is the
Okay.
one reason, so that we can maintain data integrity. Okay.
Okay.
So otherwise, for phone number, people can enter email address, right? If the phone number format is not checked, people can enter anything. People can enter anything.
Okay.
So, so for and also it also allows to do some. It also helps for the business validations. Okay. Suppose if there is a
Okay.
business validation is there. Say for simple example, like if you are trying to withdraw, like if you go to an ATM, right, and
Okay.
you can withdraw per day, you can withdraw $300. Okay.
Okay.
If you try to withdraw more than that, then it is going to give an error saying that it's already your limit exceeded. Okay.
Okay.
So that is nothing but validation. Okay. So that is called a
So,
validation. So, like that, suppose if you want to deposit, then you can't deposit more than 50,000, right? In India, you can't deposit more than 50,000 rupees, like that.
yeah.
So it won't allow you to do that. So because that because of the validation rule. Okay.
Okay.
So that is a simple validation rule. So validation rule, you can if you go to validation rules, so you can see like these are the standard objects, right? If you go to any validation rule, say suppose if I go to a contact validation rule, okay, let's see what are the validation rules I have. So if I create a new validation rule, okay,
Okay.
so I'm going to go and click on this contact record, and then let me go to validation rule. So in this validation rule, what I will do, okay, if I go and click on new contact, right? I go and click on new contact. So here, let me say, let's say I don't want to keep phone number blank. Okay, I
Okay.
really want a phone number always. Okay, there are two ways you can set. One is you can make that field required. Okay, there are three. See, for every that is what we're talking about a solutioning. Okay, whenever we get a requirement, we have to think what is the best way to do it. Okay,
Okay.
so
Uncle,
yeah,
uncle, I have
good.
seen that option when doing that permission, not permission, that
uh, object
uh,
object
objects. Yeah.
field, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, exactly, good point. So see, you can do there, or you can do it on this layout, right? Or
Okay.
you can do it through the validation. Okay,
Okay.
there are multiple ways you can do that. Okay,
Okay.
for AD. But only thing is, if so they remember the consequence for every action as a consequence for that one. So suppose if you do it on a field level, okay, you at field level you made it a required field. Okay.
Okay.
Suppose for any enterprise application, it is not just a contact record. Contact record doesn't come from Salesforce itself, right? That contact can originate from anywhere, from other systems also, right?
Okay.
If other systems doesn't keep that phone number as a required field, okay, what will happen? System is not going to accept that record, okay, and the
Yes.
integration will fail. So that's why you
Yes.
have to always keep in mind before you make any field required at the object level, think that is there any other integration or is there any other way data can come into the system. Okay. If it doesn't, then you have to do it. If it comes, then you have to tell them to the integration team or other parties that I'm planning to make this field required. Okay. let me know if you have any objections to this one, or if you have to modify your system, you please modify that system also. Okay, like
Okay.
that. Okay. So now coming back to the validation rule. Now if you go to that one, phone phone required. Okay. So now I will say I don't have, so I will say uh, so go and check on the contact and then a phone number. I will say phone insert operator. I will say equal. Okay, so null. Then I will say phone number is required. Okay, and then save. So then if this is active. So now I do. This is a. I will put Rangesh. I will put XYZ or access. Save. So this gives an invalid data. Phone number is required. Okay.
Okay.
Now I go see this one. If I have like hundreds of fields, now I don't know like where exactly the error is coming. So now I go and edit. Okay, simply I'm going to say it as at field level. And what is the field? I
Okay.
want to display it at the phone number level. Okay, and then save.
Okay.
Now if I go and save, then it says phone number is required. So it shows where exactly the problem is.
Okay.
Okay, so that is a validation rule. So you can edit and you can do a lot of things also. You can use functions. You have to go through all these functions. Okay,
Okay.
what happen if someone doesn't want to change, right? Is changed equal to true. Okay, so you can had once phone number is entered, you don't want to allow users to change it. So like if
Okay.
each changed is true, then you can give an error like that. Okay, and
Can we use multiple operators here? Like for phone, it's null first, and then is change. Can we keep is change next to it?
no, I think that is a logical thing. Where I said right, there is a minimal coding required in validation rules. Okay, this is the one you have to put your logic. Okay,
Okay.
it depends upon how you want to do that. Okay,
Okay.
whatever the way you write it, it's going to understand the same way. Okay,
Okay.
so this is the you got this. This is about the validation rules.
Okay.
Okay, so now you can play around with these validation rules. Then let's go to
Okay.
workflow rules.
Okay.
What are the workflow rules? So workflow rule is, say, whenever something happens. Suppose if you say you get a whenever there is a notification happens, right? Suppose if you have a credit card, okay, and you are swiping like whenever you swipe more than $500, okay, you are going to get
Yes.
an email, right, saying that someone has swiped for $500, right?
Yes.
That is a notification. So that is called a workflow action. Okay, that's what action that happened. Okay, so it can be multiple things like that. So suppose in case you say you are working for any company. Okay, you are not there for you are not going to office for last 1 month. Okay,
Okay.
then it will create a task to HR. Okay, saying that this
Okay.
person has not there for last 1 month. Okay,
Okay.
and then HR will go and look for the task and see like what is going on, and they may call you. Okay, so
Okay.
that is one thing. And then the field update is there. Okay, suppose if you are like taking a off, right? You said I'm taking off today. Okay, and that will go and update into your total number of leaves minus that 1 day. It can update the
Okay.
data. Okay, so that
Okay.
is like a update. And outbound message, suppose outbound message means you want to send that communication. See, when your leave calculations are all may not be done here. Leave calculation may be done in other application, maybe some
Okay.
HR application. So in that scenario, that you'll send an outbound message which can integrate the system using the APIs. So during that
Okay.
time, using the outbound. So normally, in a very complex situations, we are going to use the outbound messages. But general thing is you are going to use task, or you are going to use email alert, or you are going to use a field update. Okay. So now I'm going to create, let me, I create, so I created, let's go and go to the contact validation. Let's go, let me do one change there so that, we can use the same phone number. You go to the, let me go to that validation rule. Now, let me make it inactive. Okay, I don't want to be inactive. I will make it inactivate this one.
Okay.
Okay. Now I go back to workflow rules. Now I create a workflow rule. So now I'm going to create a rule. Okay, on contact object. What I want to create is an on contact object. Okay, and then click next, and then rule name. First thing is send an email. Okay, about contact creation. Okay, and then there are three things here. Okay, there are, one is created. Okay, so whenever you create a contact, okay, you send an email. Okay, so that is the
Okay.
one condition. Okay, second condition, created and every time it's edited. Okay, so
Okay.
I will tell you that point first. Let me cover the third one. Okay, created and anytime it's edited to subsequently meet criteria. What that means is, suppose if the contact is created, okay, and then say, so for example, if contact belongs to India, okay, I want to get an email. Okay,
Okay.
okay, so now I created a contact with North America, okay, as a country. Okay, now let's see. I want to, what is the requirement? I want to get an email whenever contact is created for country India, right? That is my criteria.
Okay.
Okay, now I changed it to, from North America to, I changed it to India now. Okay, that is
Yeah.
created and anytime it's edited to subsequently meet criteria. So now I will get an email, right? Because now the condition
Okay.
is met. Now I will get an email. Now created and every time it's edited. Now, well, if I select this one, okay, what will happen is, whenever there is an update on the record, okay, irrespective of the country name changes or not, system is going to send the mail.
Okay.
Okay, so you have to be very careful when you select this. So always prefer to select this one. Okay, that is what
Okay.
mostly it means. We don't want to get a repetitive emails, right? You know,
Yes.
if we are updating for something else also, it will send an email if you select the second one. Okay,
Okay.
so that is the difference. Okay, so now I'm going to say, if the contact equal to country. So like contact country, I will go, and mailing city contact country. Okay, I will select equals to, and then I will put India. Okay, and then I will put this one, created, and then I click save and next. Okay, so now you got this one, right? Now we have add workflow action, right? We need to add what needs to be performed. Okay, after this one.
Yeah.
So whether you want to create a new task, or you want to create a new email alert or new field update, I'm going to create new email alert.
Email alert.
Okay, now I'm going to say send an email. Okay, and then I can select a template. Okay, for now I will select some things. Okay, I can select now to whom I have to send as a user, or I can add your additional email address. Okay,
Okay.
I will select your email address, robinred6, right, at gmail.com.
Robin Reddy. REDDY.
Right, ready, 6 at gmail.com, right? And
Yes.
then I will just do this one, and then I will save. Okay, now
Okay.
I click on done. And also let me do this one. So let me do one more thing, and I'm going to add edit. Okay, and I'm going to add one more action. I'm going to create a new task. Okay, task, I will assign that to this one. Okay, subject, uh, mm, contact is created. Okay, and then
Okay.
due date I will put as nothing. Let's okay do rule trigger date plus 3 days. Not started priority. Okay, just testing, and then I will save. Okay, so and then I will create one more action then called email field update. Okay, I will put update phone number. Okay, just for this,
Okay.
I will update the phone number and then click next, and then I will put use a formula field. I can use a formula field or a blank value. Okay,
Okay.
I will put a formula field. Okay, I can say 111 or something like that. Okay, and then save. Or something I need to do for formula field, show formula editor. Okay, equal to text, right? It is a text, that's why it is asking like now 2 3 4, and then save.
No, it's asking for text first and then formula.
Because it is a text, I enter a number, so it did not allow. So
Yeah.
three things we are performing. One, it is going to create a task, it is going to send an email, and it's going to update a phone number. If
Phone
I
number.
put a country code, a country yes, I will leave it blank. Now I'm going to say country, right? I don't know whether it's a
Okay.
mailing country, so now I will put it as India. Okay, I will put
Okay.
something else now. Okay, yeah, India. Let me put India, and then save. Okay, so there is no task one screen. So let me edit layout, and then go to related list, and then add open activities here, and then save. Okay, somehow the task is not created. What happened to phone number? Okay, we need to see. Okay, let me check the rule again. So it is a mailing country equals India. So it's okay. So you know what? That's a good thing. So I did not really activate this workflow, right?
Okay.
So now I have to activate this workflow. Okay, that is the reason it did not create. So now I'm going to clone this one. Okay, and put everything same and click save. Okay, now you can see the task is created, right?
Okay.
Phone number is updated to 12345, right? And
Okay.
also you might have received an email also. Okay,
Yeah, I got it.
yeah, you got it. So that is a like three actions we said: task, email creation, and field update. Okay, now let me deactivate this workflow. Okay, there is a another one called time dependent workflow. Okay, time dependent workflow, I don't want to do any action right now. Okay, I want to do an action after like 1 hour. Okay, I want to action after 24 hours. After I want to take an action after certain duration. So then I will say, okay, after 1 day. Okay, rule trigger date, and then I will save. Okay, now I will go workflow. I will go. I will say I'm not now. I want to send an email. So what this is going to do is, okay, this will send an email after 1 day, after 1 hour or one
1
day.
hour.
You can put like that, like that.
Okay.
Okay, so so that is a difference between the time-based workflow and the direct workflow. Got
Okay.
that right? That is the difference.
Got that.
So that's how you do things with the workflows. So those are the workflows. Okay. Now let's go to process builder. Okay, so process builder is like whenever you can define your new process. Okay, so now I want to do a process builder. Say, update a contact. Okay, and then select whenever a record changes. Okay, whenever a record changes, and then click save. So now add object. Which object I want to? So, so I want to select an object. So I am going to select contact object. Okay, I'm going to select contact object and then save. Okay, now add criteria. Okay, when criterion is when country India. Okay, so same thing. Conditions met. Formula evaluates to true. Set conditions. So now you have to select country. So I will say that is the country name. Choose equal string India. Okay, and then I'm going to save. Okay, now I have to specify the action, what action I want to perform. So here now you have so many things you can do. Okay, so you can send an email alert, you can create a record, you can create a flows like that. Okay, okay, you can submit for update records, you can do a lot of things. Okay, for now we will select email alerts. Okay, send an email and then email alert, send an email. Save. Specify action for but okay. Um, and action. I'm going to specify email alert. Okay, we don't have any email alert. So first thing is we have to specify email alert. Okay, then only we can do that. Create a record. So I'm going to say select a record. I'm going to create. So I can create something else. I can create a task record. Okay, or I can do like I can create a task here. Okay, create a task.
Can we create a object when such activity occurs?
Object, you don't create an object, you can create only any action. You can operate on a
Okay.
record. Okay, you can't really you can't do that. Data manipulation is data definition is different, data manipulation is different. Okay,
Okay.
data definitions we definitely can't do that. Okay,
Okay.
so you can add one assigned id, whatever the id you want to. Okay, and then you can set the priority and you can create this one and then you can
Oh,
click save. So for now, I thought I can do some simple thing. Update records. Let me update records. That is an easy thing to do. Update record. Select the same record that we selected. Okay, and update the field. Okay, country, other country field string to. Okay, India, and then I'm going to save this. Okay, and then now I can activate this one. Okay, confirm. Okay, now if I go and create a contact, right? Now I'm going to create a contact and then I say save. Okay. So now other country, it became India. You see that, right?
yes.
Whenever I said that it's a mailing country is India, I said you updated it. Like whenever you normally ask for your address, you want to keep the billing address same as your shipping address. Then you click that box,
Yeah.
right? That's how
Yes.
we populate it in the backend. That's how it populates the data, your mailing address, and gets populated from a shipping address like that. Okay, so this is on
Okay.
the process of workflow. This is the process builder. You can play around with this process builder, how you want to go about that, like that. Okay, Um, I explained you validation rules. I explained you workflows. I explained you process flow.
Process.
Okay. Do you still want me to go and do something else, or you want to digest it?
No, I can do it.
Hmm?
I can play it around.
Yeah, okay. Do you want me to take something else also? I'm
Yes.
ready.
Yes, 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 I'm done.
Huh? You want me to proceed?
Let let's go further.
Okay, okay. Yeah. So now, so let's talk about Service Cloud. Okay. Um,
Okay.
let's before we got about Service Cloud, because I want you to understand everything before we talk about Sales Cloud and Service Cloud. Okay. Mm, okay. Let's talk about few things. Okay. Like we're talking about manage users. So this you understand. Manage users. We have like we
Yesterday
can
we discussed
mass email users, roles and permission set we cover.
roles, permission set.
Public
It's
groups. Here is a where we can create a public groups. Okay.
okay.
Now let's talk about queues. Okay. So queues is like you can create any queue. So suppose if I'm going to create a queue name, uh, um, say like uh, IBM queue. Okay, and I can specify an email to this one. Okay, robinreddy6@gmail.com. Okay, send email to members, and then I can specify available objects. So I can specify case object. I can add case object, and I can specify the queue members. Okay, I can add queue members, and I will save. Now, yeah, as I was saying, like if you we have for every, you can change. Suppose I go to the case, okay, case object. Now, if I want to change owner of this case, suppose I can do click on this case owner. I can select either user or queue. So now I will select queue, okay, and I'm going to select IBM queue, okay, and then save. If I do this one and I click save, so you are going to get an email. I am going to get an email because I specified a queue, okay. So this is about the queue. So when I say I edit this one, okay, and I say I will remove this queue from case object, and then I will do it for something else, okay. I'm going
Okay.
not, and then I will save. Then if I go to case object and if I try to change, okay, and I specify queue, you are not going to find that queue,
Yes.
okay. So it should interesting, okay. Normally it should not allow. Hmm, I go to queue and I go into and I select. Let's see if I am finding this one. I'm still able to find. Why is that? Maybe it did not save. Well, it did not save. That is the problem. Okay.
And
Uh,
data.
the old one is still there. So I will go and this is CMS family. I remove T. You can save. Oops. Oh, okay. The following queues are in use by default owner setting workflow rule, sharing rule, or actual record owner case. So because I had a
We
already have
can't
this
edit
one,
that.
so that's why it is not allowing. So the way simple. Let me change it to myself. Let me change that to myself and then save. Now let me do this one. Save. Now it should allow.
Yeah, it should.
Now if I go back, yeah, I think I did that. Now if I go back and try to change the queue, then I'm not going to find that queue at all because it is not there for that object.
No.
Right? So like queues is like like set of people working on that particular record. Okay, it can be a case, it can be there are a lot of things. It can be something like wherever you are trying to change the owner of that particular record. So that is the one we are talking about. the queues where we assign it to queues. The interesting thing is, suppose if I create a queue and I'm going to edit this queue and I'm going to add case back. Okay, I'm going to add case back there and then save. So now if I go to case object and then I go to cases, okay, and then let me add that to change to queue, IBM queue, and then save. And if I go to cases, so by default there are the cases, right? So by default
Yeah.
it created a view IBM queue also, okay. And then if you go select that one, so that record is going to be there. Okay, by default, normally you have to create these views, right? You have to create these
Yeah.
views, but whenever you create a queue, system will automatically is going to create a view for that, right?
Okay.
So that is the one. That is about the queues. So now,
Queues.
um, see login history. Suppose if any user you want to check, like who is logging into the system, okay, you can use that. Okay, see who has logged in. Okay, it can gives you like who has logged in, from what application they had logged in, all those details you can find it here. Okay,
Yeah. Okay.
from login history. And also if you go to a specific user record, then you can see who has logged into the system, etc.
Okay.
Okay, uh, and then we talked about security control. uh, Here, see network access. Here also you can specify like what IP address you can allow. Okay, this not only at a profile level, you can give at a company level also, like to
Okay.
what IP address you want. IP address from this level, yeah. Okay. The trusted networks allowed, that one. Mm, then um, let's talk about monitoring. Okay, so here we have um, automated outbound messages. This outbound messages, that whenever we know workflows are there, right? Outbound messages are there, that one. And then we have um, article import. Okay, lightning. I want to show. Okay, article communication, data management. Okay, so another one you have to see as a company information. Okay, so in company information, you can see like number of, yesterday I was showing you, right, licenses you can have. Okay, how many licenses we have, like Salesforce platform license, I have 3 licenses. Okay, how many of them
Yes.
I use 0 license, like that I have. Where is my Salesforce license? Like that force.com I have 2. Okay, I already remaining, I used 0, like that. It tells you how many licenses, and also it tells you like what time zone. Okay, it also, whenever you want a Salesforce organization ID, okay, every organization got an ID, specific ID. So for this organization,
Yeah.
this is the ID. So all this information is stored in company information. And also
Okay.
one more thing it has to give you, that is called system information. Maybe let me see where that is. Hmm, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Let me find out where that is. Okay. Um, System overview. Oh, here it is. Okay, if you go to system overview, it's going to tell you like how many business rule logics are there, how many rules or workflow rules are there, how many apex triggers are there, how many apex classes are there. Okay, so it's talking about how
Okay.
many custom objects you created. So it also tells you how many of them are used, how many of them you are allowed, okay, to use, like that.
Okay.
Okay, it gives all that data. Okay, so whenever there is
Okay.
say like what is your limitations and where we stand, you come to the system, this one, and then you check that one. Okay, you are going to check this
Oh.
system view to see like where we stand. Okay, and then this is where you are going to set specifically to my email settings. Um, so here, for all the outgoing emails, okay, you have like an automatically, suppose in case some people will be complaining like I'm getting emails. Normally the
Okay.
problem is they will be automatically there will be a BCC for them. Okay, in that, so they have to go
Okay.
and check that one and see like there is a BCC field checked. Okay, so that is a one. Okay, now uh, I was okay. Now let's talk about trailhead. Okay, so this is a one. This is a very good one. So which you should start now. Okay, so
Yeah,
trailhead
I started it up.
you started, right? Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here you have no. Let me show you a little bit of this one. So let me go here. This is a very beautiful place to learn. Okay, definitely. So what you can do, you can go to Trails. Okay, and then select what you want to become. So you can click on developer, okay, and begin developer version, okay, and then you can start from this one. You can keep on going through. See, I even even though I have a lot of experience, I still do this one, okay,
Mm.
because that gives you a lot of knowledge also, like process automation. That this is the one we discussed today. This is the one we discussed on
Okay.
formula and validations, okay. You can understand the Apex basics, Apex triggers, okay. Or no,
Okay.
whatever I finished, you can go through that one, okay. This one you can start. Data
Okay.
modeling you already know, data management you already
Yeah.
know. You try it
Yeah.
out. Data security you try it out. Formula and validation you try it out, okay. Process automation you try it out.
Okay.
All this you try it out today. Hmm?
Okay.
Okay. Then. Then you cover the CRM basics, okay. So learn CRM essentials, okay. This is going to
Okay.
give you like all the understanding before we start, right? Go through these three, okay. Go through these
Okay.
two: accounts, contacts, leads, and opportunities, okay.
Okay.
And then um, CRM essentials, admin beginner. Let's see, admin beginner also. Most of this is already you covered, so you don't have to do anything. So some
Okay.
things are already covered in developer. So I is saying, there is nothing like administrator. Only the administrator job in Salesforce. You have administrator plus developer job.
Okay.
Okay. Developer. Let's say to analytics cloud.
Have filter for that.
Yeah. Yeah. So pretty much user interface. Let's see what they have. Developer intermediate. Let's see if we can have and do something in developer intermediate. Now this is all I have to go through this stuff with you once,
Okay.
before you understand. Okay, and then uh, they have a service cloud module. Let me go to this modules they have. Yeah, they have service cloud. Okay, they have service cloud. And I click on service cloud. Um, okay, you can service cloud basics. Okay.
Okay.
No. I will explain you. I will explain you
Okay.
all this. Okay. Meanwhile, finish all this. Okay. Tomorrow
Okay.
we are going to meet again. Okay. I
Okay.
want you to understand everything or whatever we went through so far. Okay. And
Okay.
then
Okay.
tomorrow we will jump on to Service Cloud and we jump into Sales Cloud. Okay. And day after tomorrow we can go to the Apex. Okay. And then pretty much we are
Okay.
done. Then you can keep playing with the things
Okay.
with that one. In case if I miss out tomorrow or day after tomorrow, we'll meet on Monday. Okay.
Okay. No problem.
Tomorrow maximum
Have
we
a
are
nice day.
yeah. Tomorrow we are meeting. Just in case if I got
Okay.
wrong, then we may not be able to.
It's okay.
Okay.